Hi everyone, it's Kimberly and welcome back to the channel. You guys, today I feel guided to do a twin flame or divine feminine, divine masculine reading for the collective. So I'm going to be shuffling while I talk to you for a minute. Today, I know you guys have been asking, I use different decks with each reading. So today I'm going to use the Lover's Path Tarot and Joe Jason's Sacred Feminine deck, as well as the Brian Weiss Doreen Virtue Past Life deck, and this is the Fairy Forest deck, and this one is Lucy Cavendish, I believe. Okay, so I'll be shuffling. Just a couple reminders. You guys, I just posted a soul coaching series. They're short, like 10-minute videos for you guys on topics that I feel like you'll really benefit from. I give you pointers, tips, things that I would use in my practice and my courses to help guide you. Don't forget to check those out. If you guys want to work in a soul coaching capacity or want access to my online courses, I have this great special going on right now. So it's called 1-2 Free. So basically you get an intuitive guidance session, which is like a reading, a roadmap to your healing. We check in on current energies. We check in on like where your blocks are intuitively. And then you get to come back for a soul coaching session that's like an hour dedicated to you, your healing, helping you facilitate whatever work you need to facilitate, whether that's shadow work or alignment work. And then you get a free membership to my online courses. So this is like a $423 value, and it's drastically discounted. It's a great way for you guys to work with me, and I highly recommend that you check it out online if you're interested. Don't forget, if you're looking for something more just like brief and concise and you just want a reading, I'm still doing the 2020 prediction readings. They're only $75. You can book them on my website. This gives you an overview of your whole year upcoming. It's kind of fun. They've been really fun to do. I've been doing them with a bunch of clients, and there's lots of good stuff on the docket for a lot of you. 2020 is going to be a big year for a lot of you, so it's pretty exciting. Let's see, the transformational weekend, which is for healers and coaches. I pushed it because we were going to hold it in November, and I had a few people signed up, but it just wasn't it seemed to be maybe it was like too soon. So I pushed it to December 7th and 8th, and it's just for teachers, healers, and coaches. So whether you're already on this path or whether you want to get onto this path, I'm training you. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys know that I do a soul coach certification. It's kind of like the prelude to that. So it's like a really information-packed weekend, which you'll get to actually practice concepts. You're going to learn a ton about intuitive listening and soul coaching concepts, therapy-based methods, intuitive practices, spiritual practices, so you can incorporate these into your own practices and take your businesses to the next level. So check that out. That's on the website. So you guys just go to spiritualmaterialgirl.com. And then lastly, I just launched a new GoFundMe campaign for my cancer. If you guys want an update, watch that video, or if you feel inclined to donate, of course, I so appreciate your help. All right, let's get to the cards. So I'm going to pull for divine feminine, divine masculine. Nope, they're telling me that's not right. Don't you love that? I'm going to pull for divine masculine, divine feminine, and then the combined energies in the center, okay? So masculine's on my left and feminine's on my right. I knew as I was saying it the first time that they were like, nope, that's not how we want you to do it. Okay, then. Okay, so we have wisdom in reverse for the masculine. And we have triumph in reverse for the feminine. And I'll hold these cards up in a minute, you guys. And we have the Two of Staves in reverse for the combined energy. So a lot of reversals. I'm going to do the crowning cards and what's underneath. So move these out of the way. Wow, so the crowning card for the masculine is the Ten of Cups. I have goosebumps. Do you guys have goosebumps? You will when I hold it. You will when I hold it up. And for the feminine is the Knight of Coins in reverse. And the crowning combined energy is the Princess of the Princess of Coins. Oops. Oh. Whoa. And underneath for the masculine, we have oppression. And underneath for the feminine, we have Five of Cups in reverse. And Prince of Coins for the combined energy in reverse. So we have Princess of Coins and Prince of Coins, both crowning, and underneath for the combined energy. So it's interesting. The bottom of the deck is the Four of Coins in reverse. So let's look at these before we pull any additional cards. So it's been a while since I did a spread like this. So let's look at the main card for the masculine, which is wisdom. So looking at that upright, this is wisdom. So it's Shah Razad and Shah Rayar. And I want to read it to you just because this deck always tells the story of, you know, the mythological story of these two. So let me read it to you. Okay, so over the course of 1,001 nights, Shah Razad, the wise bride of King Shah Rayar, tells many compelling stories. Shah Razad's wisdom won the king's love and trust. In doing so, she saved her life, as well as those of her fellow women of the kingdom. So this is really about, this is like the High Priestess card, so this is really about like, you know, wisdom gained. This is about, you know, someone teaching you or having wisdom after, like gaining wisdom after a difficult period, like learning your lessons. I feel like what they're saying is masculine's like learning his lessons, and he's also maturing. And I feel like he's wondering where, you know, especially for those like twin flames that are in separation, he's wondering where the feminine is at in her evolution, because it's almost like he's evolving so much. He's actually looking at things in terms of evolution. And I feel like he is feeling how far he's come or how far he's coming. They're also saying to me that he's sending smoke signals, like smokestacks, smoke signal. I don't even know. Oh my God, I love when these messages come through. Okay, he's sending smoke. Oh my God, he's sending. What is that expression? He's sending smoke signals to the feminine. He's saying like, I'm more ready now. I'm wiser. I've realized things. Oh my gosh, I've got some wherewithal, I've got some insight, I've got some distance on this situation. I'm maturing. I have some regrets. I've got some, you know, distance on this that's giving me a maturity that's allowing me to see where I've been wrong in the past. And, you know, he wants her to know, he wants the feminine to know what he is feeling, what he is going through, but he doesn't know how to send that to her. He's trying to get her attention. So if that's the case, then you might be getting signals via signs, synchronicities. Like these smoke signals might be coming to you in various ways, but I think they're going to come through with a message of like, I have changed, I am evolving, I am realizing some things. That's wisdom gained for the masculine. For the feminine, we have Triumph. I'll show you upright. So very passionate card, and it's Dionysus and Ariadne. I know I've read these before, but I'm going to read them again just because they're such beautiful stories, and I love to read them. So, and this is like the world card, you guys. So, Ariadne and Dionysus. Princess Ariadne helped Theseus slay the Minotaur by teaching him to use a golden thread as a path within the labyrinth where the Minotaur lived. Ariadne thought they would live together forever, but Theseus abandoned her upon the island of Naxos. Bereft as she was, Ariadne did not know she was fated for a greater love, Dionysus, god of divine intoxication. He loved Ariadne for her passionate bravery and loyalty. Now a goddess by marriage, she went on to live a blissful triumph with her immortal husband. So I feel like whenever we see this card, it's a message of like, let it work out the way it's supposed to. Like, I feel like you cannot drive the outcome of some of these romantic feelings. You have to succumb to the feelings of love and allow your higher self, like allow yourself to just kind of surrender to your higher self and let it be orchestrated for you. This feels like to me like a union, a coming together, but they're saying like the feminine isn't trusting it enough. And it may, for some of you, like that story, it might be your twin flame, or it might be someone else. It might be someone new that's coming in for you, or someone that you didn't expect that it was. Just like that story of Dionysus and like how he came in, she was thinking it was one person, but it wasn't that person. It was someone else, and it created this happy ending for her. But they're saying how whatever it is, whoever the real twin flame is, like they're coming, and there feels like there's this union coming. They're saying don't block it and don't doubt it. That there's a happy ending on its way, that there'll be a triumph, a victory. This could also be a victory in any situation in your life in which you have felt like you were defeated. This could be things that you've been struggling with, coming through. Like I was just getting the message from someone, like you're worried about a divorce or divorce proceedings, and they're like, it's all going to work out. They're saying to you, it's all going to work out. You must trust, okay? And the combined energy is 2 of Staves in reverse. So, I feel like this is the individual expansion that you've been working on, and maybe there's still being like a little bit of selfishness, or maybe self-focus that is really actually helping the two of you. And I feel like with the Prince of Coins and the Princess of Coins crowning, and below this, this is like you two, both the masculine and the feminine, working on cultivating your own things and still needing to do that. Like, don't get derailed because you're thinking about a union or romantic union or worried about that. This is really about you still as individuals cultivating your path, cultivating your mission. It's not, I don't feel like it's time for joint mission yet for a lot of you, but it's going to be like in 2020, we're going to see a lot of that later in the year, or maybe midpoint of the year for some of you. But right now, it's like your own unique path. You're still, and you've done a lot of work on this. This is like your, each of you as individuals, like leaving jobs and starting a new focus or starting your mission, or, those types of things. And that's really, really positive. okay, so underneath for the masculine, we have oppression. So this is like things that have fallen apart for him that have created this wisdom and these lessons. This is things having to unravel under the surface, whether that's from within. That's, for some of the masculine, it was losing the feminine. It was losing her. It was having to feel that deep pain, that dark night of the soul. For some, it's just like some aspects of his world have crumbled. And that's exactly the words that they're saying. Like, I don't know, like I see him in certain areas of his life having fallen to his knees, things not working out the way he thought, things crumbling, and it's making him realize what's really important. And so that is actually reinforcing like this 10 of Cups energy, which is crowning. I love this card. I love this card in this deck. I love that image because you can see them coming together right here in the tree. And this is the ultimate fulfillment. This is like when everything comes together. This is what the masculine's thinking of. This is what he's dreaming of. He doesn't really know how to make that happen, but he's sending smoke signals. He's sending the signals to the feminine at either a spiritual level, or he may be reaching out at this time on a physical level. But I really get like smoke signals is something that you see like in a distance, right? It's not like, it's a sign. These are signs. He's saying, hey, I still love you. Hey, I've realized some things. Hey, I'm still hopeful that this can actually work out. Those of you who haven't met your real twin flame, I feel like you're getting signals from the person that you've yet to meet, and that person too is becoming wiser, and that the energies are going to line up for you for your worlds to collide here in the physical world. And for the feminine, underneath the Triumph card is the 5 of Cups in reverse. So this is that, it's still healing that feeling of loss, of, looking at the past, like, God, things didn't work out. How could it have gone that way? It might be like still holding some bitterness towards your divine masculine. It might be still hurt from some of the things that transpired in the past. And they're really wanting you to look at the possibility of the future. It doesn't mean like latch on to or attach to the outcome of union. It just means to attach to what your higher self wants. So if it's love and romance and family and all of that, think about that. And then let the person who's supposed to show up to fill in that role, allow them to. I think this is saying to us, part of these blocks here of blocking our success is this looking at the past, this, where we've been wronged, where we were hurt. It's enabling, it's not, it's blocking us from seeing what is in front of us, what is coming to us, what the possibilities are for the future. I want you to dream a new dream, and whether it's with the same person or a different person, you got to clear the past. You got to kind of clear the slate, clean the slate. And then crowning for the feminine is the 9 of Coins in reverse. And they're saying, like, feminine, like, you're really close to having a lot of, abundance and reward for all of the things, all the seeds you've been planting. This is where she gets fully established and where that abundance comes in. And I feel like she's just really at peace. She's really going to feel like, wow, I did this. But still, you're not all the way trusting in that. So again, I feel like there's a block to the romantic union and personal fulfillment. And then there's a block to it's like you're almost there, but you're blocking the full abundance from coming in. So how do we get past that? feminine, I would say visualize in your mind what it is that you want. And then in your waking state, allow yourself to recognize when those thoughts come in that block it or doubt it. Keep going back to the visualization of what you desire and discard those thoughts that are blocking it. Understand where they come from. Understand where they're rooted. Do work around that. But I really do feel like there's nothing that's not possible for you, Divine Feminine. Like, you're just doubting it at the moment and blocking it. But you're so close too, I feel. I'm going to tilt this a little bit so you guys can see better. Okay. Let's look into what I call the past life or early life deck. This gives us clarity on some of the stuff, like the baggage that we're carrying around, whether it's karmic stuff or stuff from early childhood, wounding, and we'll pull from masculine, feminine. So we've got imprisonment or slavery for the masculine. And we have angels for the feminine. That makes a lot of sense to me. This all makes sense. Trust and faith. And then we've got health underneath here. All right, so for the masculine, imprisonment or slavery is like, this is where he's felt that restriction in past lives and or in this lifetime. So where he felt like he wasn't totally free to follow his bliss, to make his own choices. This could have been like a really restrictive or strict upbringing, abusive, strict, cold, rigid. This could be past lives where he was actually imprisoned and wasn't free to pursue everything he wanted. And I think through some of these aspects crumbling and maybe ways in which he imprisoned himself in the past, like he's recreating this energy somehow in his present. He doesn't realize it, especially if it was from this lifetime in childhood. He doesn't realize that he's actually imprisoned himself in some of these situations that recently crumbled. But like, it's almost like I feel like he's been set free. Like through the crumbling of them, he's being set free, and that's creating more awareness. That's creating more awareness, more wherewithal, more wisdom, more of this. He's just evolving, and that's why he's being freed up to dream about what he really wants and to create it. And it's not what it looked like before. I feel like what it looked like before, maybe for some of you, I don't know, like 10 months ago, they're saying 10 months ago, it was different for the masculine, for some of these masculines. So think back 10 months and what were you doing and where were you at and what was going on in your dynamic. Because they're saying 10 months ago was very different than it is now. There's been a lot of lessons learned in the past 10 months. So 10 months ago was, what month are we in? This was like January. This was last December. So January, December of last year. So for the feminine, the angels card is coming up. Angels, they're saying you have helpers. This is where they're like, you have so many divine blessings that are being sprinkled upon you, but you're not seeing them. You're not trusting. You've got to hand some things over to the higher power is one of the big messages for the feminine. And maybe you're not. You're trying to control it too much. And maybe that's the answer here. You're hanging on to the past. You're blocking, who should show up in divine alignment for you. You're doubting the abundance, your worthiness with this. And they're saying you are worthy. Success is yours. Everything you want can be yours. Look to the future and believe that the outcome is going to be different. You have divine helpers, particularly your angels, Trust in the higher power, give it over to the higher power. And again, the combined energies, trust and faith, which again has the same message, I feel like, for the combined energies. Both the feminine and masculine have gone through some pretty rough stuff, especially in the past year. There's been headway made on their individual journeys, but there's also been lessons learned. There's been triumphs. There's been, or I should say, challenges that are about to turn into triumphs. And there's stuff that they are both needing to come out on the other side and say, I still have trust and faith that everything's going to work out somehow. Somehow it's going to. Let's pull from, so these are the sacred feminine cards, and I'm going to pull one for the masculine and one for the feminine. So this is the masculine, it's Guinevere. This is about his worthiness, his truth, wearing his truth. And then this is Artemis, which is, these are all coming up in reverse, so this makes a lot of sense to me. So Guinevere is about, she holds the sword of truth close to her heart. She's all about us lining up with our worth and our integrity. This is about, really deciding who we let into our inner sanctuary, who we feel we are at a divine level, and how we're lining up with that in the 3D. This is really about worthiness. This is really about feeling deserving of the happy ending, like the 10 of Cups. This is also about wearing your truth. And I think, like, if I could give you any message, like, of course, the masculine's still working on the worthiness aspect, but I feel like more than anything, this is about, like, where I said he's sending smoke signals, like, he's a little bit afraid to show his truth, to say, like, he wants the feminine to know, that he's come a long way, but he also feels like, well, do I have a right? He's kind of regretful about the way things have went. He's still carrying some of these wounds in him, like, oh, I'm imprisoned by restrictions, or he's carrying some beliefs or whatever, where he's like, oh, that's not going to work out, or I can't, or I shouldn't. And I feel like he's going to overcome that, though, because Guinevere is really a powerful force. She's going to teach us how to wear a crown, how to walk in line with our integrity. She wants the masculine to, that energy is coming through so that the masculine can speak his truth. Like, not just send the smoke signals, but like walk the walk and take action in alignment with his inner knowing. So this is about him building some confidence in order to do that, to come forth towards the feminine. And for the feminine, Artemis, this is like that, that iconic, girl that we see in cartoons and movies holding the bow and arrow. Artemis's, message to us is always about standing on our own 2 feet. It's, she was a virgin goddess, maiden of the hunt. She did not need the masculine to complete her. She is, in effect, sort of the reflection of an internal divine feminine, divine masculine imbalance. But more than anything, I feel like when she comes through, she's talking about, like, being totally a whole and one from within yourself, getting on your own 2 feet, believing in yourself. It's independence, it's sovereignty. And I feel like you're still completing that cycle, feminine, and believing that you can do it all on your own, and that, this, what you've created on your own individual journey, it's so important. You're not going to sacrifice that no matter what type of romantic partnership or union comes into play. But the reason maybe this union, it hasn't triumphed, is because you still got a little bit of completion and work left to do on this, which is standing on your own 2 feet, the sovereignty, the believing in the abundance, that really just, it's not like going it on your own in a stubborn, defensive way, not at all. It's more like, I have all the resources from within. I'm creating this. I'm doing it on my own. It's a sense of independence. It's a sense of not worrying about anything else. It's really being solid. It's healing the root chakra too. It's that base, it's that steadiness. Steady on your own 2 feet. And it's coming into your power center. And that is going to enable the masculine to attract right into your life. So I think a lot of people are working on the base chakra or the root chakra, healing that. This might be a good time to do meditations around that. And the solar plexus as well. So I pulled the Lucy Cavendish cards, the Fairy Forest. Let's just see what they have to say for us, to us. This is just going to be like general advice, I feel. So the sigil keeper, symbols, signs, messages. This is what I'm talking about. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. See, it's 38, which is 11. This is what I'm saying. This is what the masculine's doing. He's sending the signs. He's sending the signals to the feminine. So they're saying, open your third eye. Like, he's doing it at another level. So trust in that. Okay, that was just a confirmation. Let's see if we can get a confirmation on the messages with the feminine. Isa, stillness, pause, delicacy. So we'll get and choose the Ice Queen, okay? So this is like, you know, taking some time for the physical world to catch up to some of your desires. And it's what I feel like is, whether it's now or between now and when, like for some of you where the weather turns cold in the northern hemisphere, this could be through the winter months, like needing to take a pause, let everything catch up. Like, you set a lot of momentum in, you know, you've got things in motion. Now you got to let it all catch up, and you've got to like pause enough also to let the physical body integrate. So, and this could be why we're seeing like the health, because you're needing to rest, let things catch up. To your mental and emotional visualizations and desires. Let it catch up in the physical world, as well as in your physical body. Give time for things to acclimate and balance, okay? This could also be like talking about sort of the ice melting on a pause. So like for some of you who have been in separation and it's felt icy or cold, like where it's like, ooh, you know, I don't want to talk to that person again, or that went down in a really sour way, or they're saying like the ice is melting, and there'll be an opening over probably the next 4 months for some of these couples to communicate actually in the physical. So it'll warm up, the sun will come out, and it'll create an opening in that separation. And it is delicate. It's going to be a delicate sort of communication, but you will open up the door to communication for some of you. And clarifying the combined energy. The Mabon. This is about hope for the future. So 37, it's shining hope future. And Mabon is, you know, that celebration at the autumnal equinox. This is something, I feel like that was glimmering through around that time, a new desire, something that you were thinking of like back in the end of September, that's gonna come to fruition for some of you around the winter solstice and or January of 2020, I get. So this could be what the masculine's dreaming of. This could be some of the hopes and desires that the feminine's been working on. I get fruition. I get this. Keep your hope, keep your trust in, see, this is shining hope, future, trust and faith. They're saying everything is, for the two of you, you just have to have faith. You just have to keep believing. You have to keep believing in the unseen and the unknown, or what you know at a spiritual level. So I'm going to leave you with that, you guys. We could look at the bottom of this deck. Is the Solitary in reverse. This is dedication, self-love, self-focus. This is where it's coming up in reverse because they're saying there's a little bit more to do on ourselves, like Prince of Coins, Princess of Coins. A little bit more to do to get, you know, completely on our feet on our own, to be completely ready for the unions and stuff like that. But it's not saying to isolate. It's just saying this is about your just completely being able to be self-focused and not fixated on union. And like that's what brings the unions about. This is that completion and that wholeness from within. And then the bottom of the Sacred Feminine deck is Mary the Mother in reverse. This is about self-focused, self-nurturing too. This is about nurturing yourself. So that's a great message. It's in the interim, even if there's separations, even if you don't know how the future is going to turn out, still keep cultivating your path. And in the process, nurture yourself, your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, everything. Nurture yourself. All right, you guys, I love you. Hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.